trick where he act like the show is over, and then everybody think the show is over, and everybody who's in their car right now, everybody who done turned off the show and gone to listen to some other people, they don't realize the show wasn't over. It's like when you go to the movies and you know that you leave when the credits start rolling, when what you should have did was sat down and waited until it said the end, because they always show you the teaser at the end, don't they? Don't they always show you, like, if you stay to the end, you find out that T'Challa did go before the UN and he did share the technology with the rest of the world. And if you watch it even all the way past them credits, it was the dude that woke up in the house. So what I did was I just showed y'all, don't ever think that I'm so predictable. No, that was just to make all y'all believe that the show was over. This show is not over until we say it's over. We still got some more stuff to talk about here tonight on Factz Over Feelingz. We got some things to deal with. And for all y'all who jumped in my DM telling me, I need a shirt, I need a shirt, I need a shirt, y'all got to do better than that. You got to tell me why. You can't just ask for one of these shirts. You can't get an NFA. You can't, look, ain't nobody rocking these right now. These joints are tight. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Them joints tight. So I'm going to go ahead and have to play it first just so I can get the feel of it. And then we'll see what we do about all y'all. And when people start seeing you in your NFAC shirt and say, where you get that from? He said, I tuned in to Factz Over Feelingz. That's what. What's that? No more discussion. Last night, I unpacked what we call the attributes of a real woman, because by popular demand, I had a lot of sisters that needed to hear that again so that they could make some moves in their life that they weren't able to do. They needed a push in the right direction. They needed to make a decision which path they was going to be on. They had to make sure they had chosen the right path, because if they hadn't chose the right path, then that means that they could never get to what they really wanted to get, because the path was wrong. I broke them down for you. I showed you in the books where they were. Tonight, we have to go back by popular demand. We now have to deal with the qualities again of what it means to be the real man. Those are capital letters, real man. That is not something that I made up. It's something I'm pulling out of the ancient text, the ancient Egyptian text. I'm back in the books of morals and precepts again. I'm back in the enlightened masters books again. These are the books from ancient Egypt. I did not make this up. These are your ancestors talking. These are your people talking, telling you how the rules and the things that they had, morals and precepts, they had all of these things in place, and I'm just sharing them with you so that we can all be better people, so that we are worthy, Now, let me start by first making it clear that one thing I respect about the elders is that they had rules for everything that you became. In other words, you couldn't just declare yourself to be. No, they didn't play that. What they did was they made sure that you had to go through several rites of passage before you could attain that rating. So you couldn't call yourself a black man just because you reached a certain age. Yes, the law that they wrote says that you're an adult at 18. But the truth of the matter is, if you take an etymological study and look at what the word says, it doesn't say that. It says there are certain things that you must have in your personality, certain things you must carry in your heart, certain qualities of your soul that manifest themselves through your actions that earn you the mantle of the real man. Notice he didn't just say man, the real man. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you all the disclaimer up front, because the last time I did this, people broke up. People got together. People found out who they really was. Some people stepped their game up. Some people stepped the hell off. That's not my fault. I'm here to bring peace into your life right now and clarity into your life right now. So don't get mad if the shoe fits. But if you meet all of these qualities, sisters, applaud your man, because you have a real man in your presence. So shall we begin now? So now I did it for the sisters last night. So brothers, y'all was all clapping like, that's right. Tell them that's right. Tonight, it's their turn to sit next to you and go, what's wrong with you? Okay? It cuts both ways. We got to be fair. You see, it says right here in the book, it says man is divided not only into nations, peoples, tribes, and creeds, but also broadly in half. There are among all men, all peoples, two kinds of men, they're about to tell you. They say, no matter where you at, bruh, it's only two types of men. The real man and the weakling. Y'all heard me teach on the weakling before. Those who are neither holy nor one or the other. Nevertheless, towards the nature of one of these they will lean. Even if you're on the fence, you're still going to lean to who you really are. So first, let us consider the real man. The one who reaches out toward God-likeness. I can stop right there again. The one who reaches out for God-likeness. He's not proclaiming himself to be a God. He's not that stupid or that arrogant. He's saying that he's trying to be God-like. He understands the Creator enough to know that's who I want to be. That's who I want to model myself after. I don't want to be God. I want to be a reflection of him because he said he made me in his image. I want to be the best reflection. I don't want him to look in the mirror and see I'm all scratched up. He is the man in whom God has succeeded. Succeeded. What does that mean? That means that he has been successful in some way, shape, form, or fashion in his utilization of you. You're not the same person that you used to be. God has been successful in you. You're not the same liar that you used to be. God has been successful in you. You're not the same backstabber or fornicator that you used to be. God has been successful in you. You're not the drug addict that you used to be. You're not the wino. You're not the alcoholic. You're not the bum that you used to be. God has been successful in you. Do you get it now? Good. Go out and let all your friends know who didn't come back for part 1 that they missing out because they all in my inbox now. Are you back on live? See, they don't know. I'm shadow banned. But anyway, getting back to this whole real man piece. It said he is God's elect. Notice all of these honors are put on the real man. He is like unto a spreading tree planted in black soil, which blossoms quietly and doubles in its yield of its fruit in the summer. He does twice as much in the summer, in the heat, when he's planted in good black soil. Y'all got to read between the lines. Black soil is you, my sister. They say good black soil. A good man always has a good woman at his base. Always. Good soil, supportive soil, encouraging soil. Sometimes pat them up soil. Yeah, you know you messed up. Soil. Sisters, pay attention. Its fruit is a delight to the mouth and fills the stomach with satisfaction. Beneath the canopy of its foliage, the weary find a pleasant refuge from the heat. In its shade, all men find peace and contentment. What that means is anybody who is within the aura of this person is content. They feel safe. They feel comfortable. Even the bros feel safe and comfortable that there's someone confident around. The energy is just there. It goes on to say, on the other hand, the weakling is like a tree whose leaves wither before the heat of the summer sun, and whose fruit never reaches maturity. I could stop right there. They never reach maturity. I don't care how old they get, they still act like a big-ass kid. Sisters, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Brothers, y'all don't know how irritating that is to a woman when you're acting like a big-ass child. But it says right here, if you are, you're not a real man. You're a weakling. You see, being a weakling is not always physical. It's in any category that makes you or who you are. I'm just reading from the book. Don't get mad at me. They say men avoid it, and the axe is laid against its hole. The bottom line that they're saying is that we don't hang out with weaklings, and life takes care of you eventually. Oh, real man, filled with the calm of strength, you are the true image of God on earth. Stop. Every black man need to listen up. Say it to you one more time. Oh, real man, filled with the calm of strength, you are the true image of God on earth. That's why they shoot you, strangle you, kill you, and lynch you. Because they know exactly what you are. That's why they don't want you to know what you are. Yours is the noble life, and your reward here shall be a body preserved in youthfulness. If you walk the correct path, he will preserve you so that even when you've been here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, you still look like you're half that age. He is preserving you. He's preserving you because you have been a pleasure to him. The real man, not the weakling. He deals with you in another way. Do you understand what I'm saying? It says such men stand out amongst others, not only because of their own qualities, but because of the respect which others feel bound to accord them. A great man is no less great, though he lie prostrated and vanquished in dust. The real man accepts both victory and defeat for what they really are a challenge to his manliness. That's so deep. He's saying that every time you go through a problem, every time something go wrong, every time somebody want to try to run some game on you, all they're doing is giving you a challenge to the manliness, which is the core of your being. See, this is hard for some sisters to hear because society has forced you into a position of having to be in charge because they've taken the man away from you, whether it be through incarceration or the lack of education or any type of situation. They've removed him out of the way, so you've had to go out and had to do these things. So it's hard for you to hear these things because they brainwash you into thinking that masculinity is toxic. There's something wrong with being masculine. Are you out of your damn mind? I remember back in '75 when they had real men running around loose like Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Pendergrass used to show up with a black Santa Claus beard talking about, you got. He was the brother that sung the heart. The women used to lose. My mother, I used to sit there and I didn't understand it. I was young and I was like, he's so rough. He's so hard. He comes in just, and then you had Isaac Hayes would come in with chains on, sweat pouring, a bald head and some shades, and they calling him, it was crazy. Marvin Gaye come through with a scully on and a goddamn beard talking about... I'm just kidding. The point I'm making is these were bros. And the women used to eat up the masculinity. They used to eat it up. Nowadays, they want you to think that there's something wrong with that. They've already killed black love music. They killed that. I don't know what's this stuff they're doing now. Now they want to kill the image of the virulent, powerful black man that loves on the black queen. Even though 87% of all black men are with a black woman. Don't you believe that we all out here with these snowflakes? That's not what's happening. That's an image they want to present to you in the media. Don't you believe that? 87% of all black men are with a black woman. We're not saying we perfect and y'all ain't perfect either, but we still family. You understand what I'm saying to you? Don't let them brainwash you into believing that. And now they want to kill the image of the brother. The brother, the soul brother that'll whip your ass but loves his woman. The soul brother that ain't taking no mess but love his kid. The soul brother that's looking for a brand new bag but is proud to be the head and the partner of his queen, who is the goddess of the home. I taught y'all that last night. So sisters, don't feel bad when I say these things. There's nothing wrong with them. These are the qualities of a real man. Now, like I said, I'm just handing out shoes. I don't know who they gonna fit. It goes on further to say that the spirit of the real man does not bow before the blows of misfortune, no matter how grievous its afflictions. His calmness deflects its arrows, and his fortitude breaks its thrusts. The shield of cheerfulness and the sword of courage he never discards in despair. That means that when you charge into battle, we ain't going... Okay, I'm sorry. I got to use the example from Louisville. If you watch the videos, and I watched all the videos, the faces of the brothers and sisters, the look on their faces was not... We wasn't going in like, oh my God, we're going to get killed, but we're going to go anyway. No, won't none of that. It was ancestral spirits loose out there. There was a whole lot of ancestors that got loose from the grave just for a couple hours so they could come walk down the street with us. And as y'all can tell, we keep the face of joy. We glad to be here. We looking for something, but we hope nothing. That's the face of a warrior. That's the face you should have going into battle. The real man, he rejoices in that. He wants to go out and defend for his family. He wants to go out and defend for his people. He wants to give his life for his people. Y'all, you trying to talk us into guilt. Then you're a coward. Then keep your little cowardly ass in the back. You're going to get us killed by being scared. Ugh. My apologies for those folks who've never served in the military. That's a byproduct of being trained to go do some shit that you probably never thought you would have to do, and now it's just a part of your psyche. You just use it for your own people now, that's all. Last but not least, about the real man. One of the things that I had to point out when I went through this chapter, and there's a lot in here, and it says, a real man does not debase or humiliate the manliness of a defeated foe. Meaning that even after we whip your ass, even after we put you down, even after you are defeated, we're not going to humiliate you like we've been humiliated so many times in society. We're not going to do that. It says a real man, he's gentle with women and he's hearty with the men. He parties with his brothers, he hangs out with them, and he's gentle with the women, and he's an all-around good guy. Until he goes to war, then he has to do what he has to do. These are the qualities of a real man. And the funny part about this is that all of these things ends by saying the real man stands out above all others. His head is high, his footfall is firm, his hearing is dignified, his bearing is dignified, his face is calm, his hands are steady, his heart is tranquil. He sweeps aside all obstacles in a way that he proceeds through all dream fields and powers of darkness and seeks to bar his way. They say that this brother's so strong that he'll walk straight up to a demon and be like, I see you, but I'm not going nowhere. When he or where he or she, or where is he who can gather the real man together and make them rulers of all men, then earth may resound with glory and greatness. That last line really kind of catches me. What they just said is, whoever can get real men together, whatever real man can get real men together, because only a real man can get real men together, that whoever can get them together and get them all together on one accord, then what happens is you create rulers of the earth that are bound together with glory. That sounds like some stuff straight out of the movie 300. We are bound for glory. Now I know where they got it from. They got it out of this book. Well, I wish I had more time, but I would cover the attitudes of the real man towards all of these different areas. But I think I've made my point tonight, is that in order to be a real man, there are certain qualities that you have to have, and they go beyond just being able to shoot someone. They actually border on compassion and consideration and the loving of your nation and the respect of your queen and realizing her powers too and who it is that you want to be like, so to speak. Let me close with this right here. Folks have been asking me about this recruiting tour. The recruiting tour is on hold until we get past Louisville. Once we get past Louisville, then we can talk about recruiting. I do believe that we're going to see a different experience this time around. I'm pretty sure. And I know a lot of you all who weren't there last time will make sure you're there this time. And yes, we changed some of the rules, so some of y'all won't be able to come. Y'all didn't listen to me last time when I told you, if you have never shot your weapon before, don't you bring your ass out there. And what did you do? Brought your ass out there anyway. So now we got to change the rules, and everybody going to be like, you messed it up for everybody. No, you didn't mess it up for everybody. We're going to be safer than we was before, because the white folks got enough to talk about right now. So I'll give you all the information on that here shortly. I'm still waiting on some information to see what they're going to do, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. Somebody say, keep teaching. You want me to keep teaching? Okay. I give you one more, and then I'm gone. Listen, have you all ever heard? You've heard the term the New World Order. We've all heard the term New World Order. But if you have a copy of, we were talking about this the other day. Remember, I told you they took a chapter out of Behold the Pale Horse? If you have the original version, and I know there's some people that's mad right now, ready to send their books back, but you can actually go get the PDF online and get the chapter that you're missing and download it now that I've told you that it's gone. But there is a piece that's not there, and I don't know if you can find it because I looked for it. But there used to be a thing called, for the New World Order, there was something called the Robeson 1798. Let me talk about that for a second. What this was what they call proof of a conspiracy against all religions and all governments of Europe that was carried on in secret meetings by all these different elements. They were throwing everybody. They said the Masons was in it, the Illuminati was in it, and all of these different societies. Well, what it was a report. Excuse me. And it's called the Club of Rome. And if you know anything about this, it's a system of world government that was created in Rome. And they say no matter how many countries there are in the world, no matter how advanced the world gets, if no one is looking, we can reinstitute this system every time, and we can control everything. This is a regionalized and adaptive model of global world system. And they had what was called, it was a strategy for survival project of the Club of Rome. Now, when I say the Club of Rome, most of y'all think I'm talking about like these cats way back in the day. Oh, no. The Club of Rome is a current group of people. Just like they have the Bilderberg group. Well, you got the Club of Rome. The Club of Rome did some things that they couldn't do back in ancient Rome. Like, for instance, they have a computer model of the world economic system that's been developed and validated through an extensive set of data. They've already come up with a way to put this into action. Number two, they have a world population model that's been constructed in terms of the same regions of the economic model that they already had built. Then they have an energy model that's been constructed, which gives for each region the consumption and production of energy and interregional exchange of energy resources as a function of economic factors. They already have this plan put together. Number four is a food production and an arable land use model that's been constructed, where we can grow food and where else we're going to turn into a goddamn desert so nobody can grow nothing. Then they have the last part. A major concern in the application of this computer model is a proper utilization to avoid dependence. So they don't want y'all to even figure this shit out. And the last part, they said this model that they intend to use establishes 10 global groups, 10 kingdoms. They have the Western group. Group 1 is North America. Group 2 is Western Europe. Group 3 is Japan. Group 4 is Eastern Europe. Group 5, then you have Latin America. Then you have North Africa and the Middle East. And then you have main Africa. Group 9 is South and Southeast Asia. And Group 10 is the centrally planned area of Asia. They have these areas already mapped out. And the countries fall within each one of them. Even, and I'm going to say this to everybody, even if we go build our own country somewhere, we're still falling under a larger structure that in order to get out from under that structure, you damn near have to destroy the world, which we're not about to do. So it still means that we would be integrating into a global system, which for us is going to be okay when we haven't had the opportunity to do a damn thing in a state of our own in the last 400 years. So I think we might be doing all right to be part of the structure of other countries, and we're a country too. The United Black Front, United Black State, I don't give a damn what you call it, but the bottom line is we're going to fall into that structure. So when I read this report, I thought what was interesting was they've already got everything figured out, so everybody plays their position. But at the end of the day, it still takes us to the same place where we don't want to go, a one world order, one world bank, one world government, one religion. You understand what I'm saying? This is what's foretold in Revelations 13. So unless we want to end up there, I would advise us to get on board with some type of plan where we can actually do something about it. Remember, you can only find that in the old version, which doesn't have the crazy writing right here, and it's got all the chapters and appendices of William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse. I hope you can find it. People are really having a hard time finding the original copy since I pointed out that they took out 66 pages from the one that you get now from Amazon. If you got it, go get your money back because they owe you the rest of the book, or just download the rest offline. Now, real quick before I move on, I want to talk a little bit about the shape of things to come.